What up, YouTube? How's it going, guys? Today's video is going to be hopefully something quick and simple. It is going to be some Noita science. Now, the inspiration for creating this video is we actually had it occur on stream. Like in the last week or so, the daily run actually had this perfect setup. So let me go ahead and break this interaction down for you. In fact, you know what? I'll just start off by just doing the crazy Noita science thing, and then afterwards explaining what exactly occurred. So let's head on over to the statue, and we're going to fire off this one charge of Summon Taikosova a single time. And there you go, the character even got stuck for a moment. So as you can see, in fact, you know what, let me grab one of these real quick. Hold on, there was a wand I wanted. Where is it? No, not that one. That's the one I want. Let me just grab that real fast. Basically, what is occurring there is that we are firing Summon Taikosova a single time, and yet we are getting hundreds of wands to spawn in in that one moment. Let's not get ourselves killed here. Whoop. So let me break down all of the interactions here, because there's a couple things going on, in fact. And the gods are very angry with me right now, but I grabbed a piece of the god, so we're good. So, move some of these away for a second. This statue right here is considered both a physical object and an enemy. Normally, like for example, if there's a wall here, this is just like it's a physical object, something that if I shoot a spark trigger into, like so, it'll deliver whatever payload I put after it. However, with the statue's weird. The statue, whenever it gets hit by like a spark trigger, both this enemy layer and this physical object layer both fire off their payloads. So, for example, if I was to fire this spark trigger and it to hit a wall, it'll fire off like a single bomb. One bomb. There you go. Single one bomb, because it hit a wall. But if I hit this statue, both the enemy layer and the physical object layer will both fire off, both interact with the spark trigger, causing one charge of this bomb to actually end up being two bombs. So anyways, here you go. Let's visualize this. So one spark trigger, shooting it into the statue, two bombs come out, and yet it only uses one charge. That is because, like I said, both of these layers are interacting with the spark trigger. So instead, if we put a spark trigger, and then another spark trigger, and then a bomb, like this, we got two bombs. Like this, we will now get four bombs, because this spark trigger will cause two spark triggers to fire off here. Each of those spark triggers will cause two bombs to fire off, meaning a total of four bombs. Let's go ahead and let's get the statue set up in such a way that we can show that. There you go, four bombs. Three right there and one over here to the right. Four bombs. So the longer the chain, the more like spark triggers you put in a row. Each time it's growing exponentially. And in fact, you would think that you could just break this down really simply, right? Be like, oh, one trigger means there's going to be, 2, and then 4, and then 8, and 16, and 32, and 64. But I don't know exactly what's occurring, and maybe somebody big brain out there can really break it down. But whenever we did this on stream, we did this exact setup pretty much, and we had Summon Taikosova, and we fired this. We ended up with over 600 wands. It was like 625 wands. Latala even created a mod just to count how many wands it was spawning in. Now, I don't fully understand why there are so many. I understand the basics of it, and I understand how we're getting to a larger number, but I don't understand why it's getting to such a large number. But the key thing is that whenever we're firing this, I gotta fire it in such a way that it will hit the statue multiple times. So basically, it's bouncing around in the statue area. You'll see that there's actually like the statue holds like a staff kind of thing. So I can't really kick it around and manipulate it and show you. But the statue carries a staff, and by firing this projectile in this zone here, it'll bounce around in here, causing them all to duplicate. However, if I was to shoot this long chain at just the bottom of the statue, the first shot will duplicate, but then they'll just fly off and they'll interact with the wall. So you really won't get that many spawns. So let's go ahead. Let's show the Summon Taikosova in action one more time here. The statue is vibrating, and this caused us to get a crappy interaction out of it. That kind of pisses me off. I don't want to interact with that statue. Let me go over here to this statue. This is I just got done explaining how this statue is worse, but I'm going to end up using it because the other statue's like, you know, Noita, every pixel is simulated, kind of. That statue's like stuck in the ground and it's vibrating, so it's getting some weird interaction. So we're going to use this kind of like this little cup that's going on here to fire the triggers down in here and hopefully get some good interactions out of it. So let's do that. There we go. There's the interaction we're looking for. So now that we fired the wand off, we do have a clump of ghosts here carrying wands, but there's a lot of wands that are just sitting here that the ghosts were not able to spawn in. The reason for that is because you can only have so many enemies on the screen at one time, and whenever you fire off, ooh, I like that version of homing, in fact. Whenever you fire it off, it's going to drop some of the wands on the ground, and then there's tons of ghosts that are just... It's hard to explain. There's like different categories of ghosts right now. There's ghosts that didn't spawn in, there's ghosts that spawned in carrying a wand, there's ghosts that spawned in, drop their wand, and they're floating around, they pick up another wand. The point is, you can only have so many enemies on the screen, and there's a lot of enemies right now that are queued up just waiting to spawn. A lot of ghosts that are queued up and waiting to spawn. So as I clear these out, you'll notice that we get some interesting interactions here. So let me go ahead and... So I want to kill these ghosts off in a way that they do not view me as the one killing them. If I look like a threat to these guys will turn on me fast. And this is very dangerous because they will fire off whatever they have on their wand, which pretty much is I'll be dead. So let me go ahead and put homing on a plasma beam cross. So this plasma beam cross, enemies won't know what hit them. They won't know that I'm the one doing it. And we can fire this from a safe distance. So can do that, fire it off a couple times, and you'll notice that there's more wands coming in now, right? That's because now that we're clearing up space, the wands that are on like the edge of the screen are now able to spawn in. However, if I kill them, it's hard to kill them quickly because they keep charging at me so aggressively. See if I can... Alright, so we're almost set up in such a way that you can see the stack of wands. So what's happening here is it's not getting the opportunity to spawn in new spawns because we're not like, we need to get a little bit away from this zone. So whenever I get a little ways away, now it'll start allowing those enemies to spawn in, and you'll start seeing more floating wands, and we just go back to killing them. As you can see, we're getting way more wands than you would anticipate, which is why I'm saying that there's some interactions to this I don't fully grasp, and I'm sure somebody out there will probably do a bit of science and figure out what exactly was occurring there. But regardless of understanding it thoroughly, you get a good look at the potential of using this strategy of just chaining. In this case, we use spark bolt triggers. You don't have to use spark bolt triggers. You could put like a bubble trigger in there. You could put, you know, spark timer. The whole point is it's hitting the statue and it's delivering 2 payloads. Many of these spells can do that. Pretty much just about anything that's a trigger or a timer can do that, except for like black hole timer, stuff like that will eat up the statue. I guess I could give you one more look at the interaction here real quick. Let's, but yeah, usually you would use this time to farm up all this. Remember, this is from a single charge. Another reason I wouldn't recommend using this statue over here is because wands will roam out there, and that's dangerous because you don't want wands just fighting enemies on their own, causing mayhem, right? You want to deal with it. In Noita, everything's trying to murder you, so don't help it out by throwing in some extra wands in there, you know. Some chaotic wands just doing whatever the heck they want. Alright, so we made some changes. We added a bubble trigger, we added a spark timer. Again, this will be the exact same though. Like this will not change the results. We'll still get it where this one charge of Summon Taikasova will end up bringing in just a ton of wands. In fact, yeah, this is good enough. So, again, like right here, we want the projectiles bouncing around here. This is another good spot. You can get them to bounce around right there. But cram our wand in there, and there we go. Be careful when kicking and stuff, because you may accidentally kick a ghost, and they're probably going to beat your ass. Hey, get off of me. Another fun thing to do is to kind of, so let these wands spawn in, and then walk away so that more enemies can spawn in. And sometimes you can just really clutter the screen. But keep in mind that these need to kind of move further away, because as long as these aren't moving, because if they run all the way over to, like, you know, the far right side over here, it will clear up some space for more enemies to spawn in. Come on, guys, run over here. Get over there. They don't seem to be getting enough distance to allow us to spawn in some more, which makes me a little sad. Because I was hoping to clutter the screen with like a ton of them. Oops, wrong. That was the wrong wand. But you get the idea. I don't want to keep you guys too long. But there you go. There's a little bit of Noita science for you. The reason I wanted to talk about it, though, is because Summon Taikasova is not a spell that needs to be unlocked. And a lot of people think that it is, because it's just a very rare spell. And because of that, it kind of makes it a little silly to do rants on it for new players especially. Because, I mean, it's like planning for this like 1% chance to happen. Now 1% may be an exaggeration, but the point is a very rare chance for it to occur. But we did a daily run the other day, and this dropped right at the start of the daily run. Like we opened a chest and it just fell out. And because of that, a lot of people in our community were doing different, like you know, builds with the Summon Taikasova. And then I remember No Lava in the chat was like, oh, we could abuse the statue interaction to spawn in tons of wands. So then, of course, we had to do it, right? We had to do a little bit of abuse there, and then once we did it, I was like, okay, well, I guess, you know, Miksu was encouraging me, hey, we should make a video on this. So I said, screw it, let's do it. And there is your one shot 600 wand spawning video. I honestly, I don't know what to title it. I don't know if that sounds like clickbait. I mean, it's accurate, but I honestly, I don't even know what to call this. But thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate the love. For all of you guys in the YouTube community that have stopped by my Twitch stream, know that I appreciate you guys. And I'll try to keep posting more videos. Again, I try to get hit with some inspiration, something that I feel that will help you guys. Today's isn't necessarily the most helpful, but it's more on the interesting side of things, right? I thought this is some cool Noita science. I don't expect this to, like, you know, help people be like, oh, I got my first win ever, unless they're just crazy lucky and they get summoned Taikasova right off the start, which, again, you know, maybe it'll happen. Maybe it happened on the daily run, so we'll see. All right, deuces, you guys.